In the heart of the hospital, a phone rang unexpectedly. It was a sound that shouldn't have been heard. The call came from a floor that had been closed for years, a place where silence had long settled. Nurse Emily was on duty that night. She hesitated before picking up the receiver. The voice on the other end was faint, almost a whisper. It asked for help. Emily's heart raced. The psych unit had been locked for over a decade. She checked the call logs. The call was real, but it made no sense. The psych unit had been decommissioned after a tragic incident. No one had entered since. Emily decided to investigate. She felt a strange pull towards the locked doors. The hallway was eerily quiet. Her footsteps echoed as she approached. She reached the door. It was sealed shut, just as it had been for years. Emily pressed her ear against the door. She heard nothing but her own breath. She returned to her station, puzzled. The call lingered in her mind. The next night, the phone rang again. This time the line went silent. Emily felt a chill. She knew she had to find out more. She spoke to the hospital's security team. They were skeptical, but intrigued. Together, they reviewed the security footage. It showed nothing unusual. The calls continued, each one more unsettling than the last. Emily began to research the history of the psych unit. She uncovered old records. The unit had been closed after a patient disappeared. The case was never solved. Emily felt a connection to the past. She wondered if the calls were a cry for help. She decided to visit the unit during the day. The atmosphere was heavy with history. Dust covered everything. It was as if time had stopped. Emily found an old phone in one of the rooms. It was disconnected. She picked it up, half expecting to hear a voice. But there was only silence. Back at her desk, Emily felt a sense of unease. The mystery deepened. She shared her findings with a colleague. They were both intrigued and unsettled. The calls became less frequent but never stopped entirely. Emily wondered if the spirit of the missing patient lingered, seeking closure. She felt a responsibility to uncover the truth. It became a personal mission. One night, the phone rang again. This time, the voice was clearer. It was a plea for help, unmistakable and urgent. Emily felt a chill run down her spine. She knew she had to act. She contacted a paranormal investigator. They agreed to help. Together, they set up equipment in the psych unit. The air was tense with anticipation. As night fell, they waited. The silence was almost deafening. Suddenly, the equipment detected a presence. It was faint but undeniable. Emily felt a connection, as if the spirit was reaching out. The investigator recorded the session. They hoped to find answers. As dawn broke, Emily felt a sense of peace. She had done all she could. The calls eventually stopped. The mystery remained, but Emily felt closure. She knew the past would always linger, but she had made a difference. In the quiet of the hospital, life went on. But the story of the calls would never be forgotten. I post hospital horror stories based on true stories. Sub so you don't miss next week's case.